Hi, I'm Lynn Jordan, and today I'm here with Misty O'Hara, and she is a vibrant novelist from Salt Lake City, Utah. She brings her unique perspective to the literary world. With her husband of 31 years and a boyfriend of 7 years, I do hope that's the same person, Misty captures the essence of living life to the fullest. While her first novel, The Hundred Man Plan, is fictional, her writing is a testimony of her vivacious spirit and love for the extraordinary. And that is such a marvelous premise for your Hundred Man Plan novel.
Thank you.
Welcome, Misty.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and talking with you today.
We will talk about the book in a minute, but when did you decide you wanted to write?
It is the craziest story, and I've never been a writer. I started this book when I was 38 years old. So my mom actually died of ALS, and it was really hard on our family. I was married to my husband. We were together for 19 years, and we were very monogamous with each other. Our whole family fell apart. My mom was the rock in our family, and I couldn't handle it. I just fell apart, and I told my husband, I couldn't think of anything horrible enough to do. I told him, I'm going to go sleep with 100 men. And this came out of nowhere. He was shocked. He was like, what are you talking
And
about?
what did he say to that?
He's the greatest man in the world. He said to me, baby, you do what you need to do. Just take me. He knew me well enough. He said, later on, he said, I knew you weren't going to do that. You are not. He says, you're very picky. I said, I know. So I told him, how about I'm just going to write this book because it helped me heal. It helped me get everything out. Anything in my imagination, I was able to just put on paper. Any other husband probably would have thrown me out, divorced me, told me I was crazy. But my husband's great. He's taking me with you. I know you're going to come out of this. And he's the greatest. So the book, it took me about 7 years to write. And I did it while I was raising kids. I was in school full time. I was working full time. So in my spare time. So it took a long time. I was doing it all, but it helped me heal and it helped me get over my mom's death.
So how did you publish it? When did you publish it?
After the 7 years of writing it, it took me a good year to find an agent. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought you had to get an agent and I knew you had to get a publisher. And so it took me about a year to find a good agent. And I'm telling you, I got turned down by everybody. And it was during COVID. It was crazy. I found a really great agent and I thought my agent would be a woman who was about my age. And it wasn't. It's an older man from New York City. And he absolutely loved it. He called me and said, Misty, I love your book. And I was like, what? Who is this? Wrong number, wrong number. But he said that he could not put it down. And he said, I really like your book because it's not, he said, it's not cringy. He said, it's obviously an adult book and you write about adult situations, but he said, you toe the line and you pull back at the cringe. I love it. It's what I need. It's what I like. And that's why I decided to go with him. So then we started looking for a publisher and that took another 2 years. And I got turned down by everybody. We finally found Olympia Publishers and it took about 2 years to get it done from beginning to end. And the book finally came out and about 12 years from when I started writing it. So it was a long process.
That's high praise from an agent. Absolutely.
Yes. Very exciting. It's great. I love my agent. He's great. His name's Alf.
You started to write this book because it's so much better for us to anything we can't do in real life, we can do in the book.
And yeah, and that's what's great. Obviously, it's a lot safer. And if I was going to write a book about real life, it would basically be this boy took me to dinner. He was really nice to me. He bought me dinner and then we had sex and then I went home. The end. And it would just be like, I don't think the situations would be as entertaining as they are in my book. So it's a lot safer for me to write about it. So that's what.
You need conflict in a book.
Exactly. It can't all be perfect. And there's definitely conflict.
What is your writing schedule like?
In the past, obviously, it's when I had time. My kids are grown and out of the house now, but I actually did it after they went to bed, just when I'd have time. I was working full time. I was actually in school getting my degree. So I did it when I had spare time and it wasn't much. I'm a night owl, so I do it a lot at night. If you just sit down and say, I'm going to write for an hour, sometimes you don't have any ideas. But sometimes you'll be doing something else and you're like, oh, I got an idea. I should sit down and write. And that's basically just what I do now. When I do have time, when I get an idea, I try to sit down, even if it's just to put a couple of sentences in. And sometimes it turns into an hour if I have time.
What do you wish you knew when you'd started that you know now?
I wish I would have known that the story does not have to be perfect. I wish I would have written the book from beginning to end and not changed anything. My problem is I write the sentence, then I go back and fix it and make it perfect. I should have just wrote the whole book from beginning to end, then gone back and done all the edits. And I actually did that with the other books I'm writing. And it's way better. Just get the story out. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be typos, there's going to be plot holes, and you just have to get through it beginning to end, get it done. Then you can go back and fill everything in. Because
Yeah.
you're going to do that anyway. I still went back and fixed things, and I should have just got the book done, and then it would just be all editing, and that's easier for me.
We all have to learn what our process is because
Right.
everybody's process is going to
Right.
be different. But do you have a favorite place where you write?
I work from home. I'm a recruiter for my day job, and I have an office that I work from. So it's basically the same thing. Sometimes it can get really hard because it's like I finish working and then I start writing and I feel like I'm still at work. It is my office space, but sometimes I will take my laptop and just go sit in my bed and do it. And I really like doing that. It's quiet
Hmm.
in there,
It helps to have a different
separate.
place.
And sometimes when I was writing when my kids were little, I'd just leave the house and I'd go to the library and I'd put headphones on and I would write from the
Mhm.
library, which is crazy because I never spent any time in the library in high school. I would go there and I'd get so much work done. That's when my kids were little and they needed my attention. So if I was out of the house, they didn't bug me as much. I don't have to do that now. My kids are out of the house. We're quiet here.
What do you enjoy the most about writing?
I love the characters that are in your head. They're like your children and you control their lives and you fall in love with them and everything about the characters, you root for them and you're so happy for them and you want them to learn and grow and all the things you want for children. My favorite thing is I get so attached to them. And it's so sad when you finish the book and you're just like, it's almost like they're dead. You're just like, my favorite part is I really like the characters. It's almost like you're creating a person, which you are.
Have you thought about doing a series where you can have the characters at least cameo?
Way ahead of you. So I've already, the second book is already done and it's a companion book to the first one. So there's a lot of characters that are in there and you can see what happens to them. And then the third book that I'm writing in the middle of, I'm not done with it yet, but it does have one of the side characters and it's her life and she's the main one. When I'm reading a book and you already know the characters, you're a little familiar with them. It's like old friends. So yeah, I love trilogies. I love books where you already know the characters.
What do you like the least about writing?
Writer's block. When I don't know how to end this, or I don't know what to do with this character. I don't know how to make her more likable. That's really hard because it's almost like you want somebody to help. I need somebody to tell me what to do so I can do it. But usually if you just wait and write something else, then it'll come to you. And that's been my
Mhm.
experience. It comes to you and you get past that. I think that's why it's called writer's block, because then you eventually move on.
What's next on your publication schedule? You said
So
something about another book.
the second book, I actually wrote while I was waiting for the first one to get published because that's what they told me. It's a long process. And I say, okay, it's completely done. I'm still editing. Every time I go back and read it over, I find mistakes, which drives me crazy. You go back and look at it 1,000 times and you see something you should have seen the first.
I don't care how many people read it, how many people edit it, you're still going to have something.
I just got this book launched and I'm chomping at the bit to get to the next one, get that published. My agent, but holding off just for a minute. We're going to get this one done and then the next one will be ready to go. So hopefully,
Oh, can't wait to see that one.
yes, it's going to be fun. And I actually like it. You're not supposed to have a favorite child, but I like the second one better than the
We always have our favorites.
yeah. And I just love it because I feel like I'm a better writer than when I wrote the first
Mhm.
one. It makes me really excited. So it's really good.
Yeah. And there's something, I don't know, the second book of the series is always my favorite.
Yeah, it's
The
gonna do
one-
everything that you couldn't do in the first one. You tie
Mhm.
up a bunch of loose ends and yeah, do the fun stuff you didn't get in the first one. So I like that.
What advice would you give somebody that wanted to try their hands at writing?
I would say try to write every day because that's how you get good at it and you get better at it and you really do get better at it. And then just write the book. I started the book when I was about 37, 38, and I'm 50 and it's being published for the first time. And I've never written anything before. I wasn't a writer ever. Nothing's been published. I decided to write it for the first time. And I could have looked at myself and been like, oh, a 50-year-old housewife from Salt Lake City, how am I going to publish this? But I was just like, I'll just do it. And I like it. And it's not about anything except that I did it and it saved me. So I would just tell people keep writing if that's what you love. And 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever.
I think that's wonderful. You're never too old. You're never too anything to start. So that is great. Is there anything that I haven't asked that you'd like us to know?
No, I think this book, it's called The 100-Man Plan, and her
Uh-huh.
husband is really mean to her. He leaves her. It's a age-old story. He cheats on her, leaves her for a
Uh-huh.
younger woman, tells her she's not sexy, tells her she's a prude, and he just is not very nice. And so she's having her freak out, and she decides she's gonna go and sleep with the 100 men because she never did that. She was acting out. And I know all about that. And I think this has happened to a lot of women, and it's every woman's story. And it doesn't mean that if your husband leaves you, you should go do this, but this was her story. And it's definitely a happy ending. I don't like books that aren't. And
Well, isn't that why we write romance?
exactly. And she finds her happily ever after. I love the book because in the beginning, it's about revenge and she's very angry. And by the end, she just doesn't, it's not about him anymore. She doesn't, he's not even a thought to her. And she does find herself and she does fix herself and she finds her happy. And I love that for her so much.
Almost every woman can identify with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of women. And that's what's crazy is I've never had that happen to me. People say, oh, you must have had a horrible story. And it's no, but I can imagine. And I have a lot of friends and a lot of women reading this book say, this is my story. My husband did the exact same thing. And it's crazy how many women this actually has happened to. And if they
Oh,
can read the
absolutely.
book and live
Yeah.
vicariously through my book, try to find they're happy, they should do that.
That's the writer's creativity.
Yeah.
Right. I know that when I was in a really bad marriage, I wrote a book, A Happily Married Couple, and somebody said, "Oh, you must have the most wonderful marriage."
Interesting. It's not a biography. This is not my life. I had a woman reach out to me and say, I'm so sorry you're hurting. I'm so sorry that you felt that you need to do that. And I was like, this book work of fiction. Do you even know what the story's about? What are you talking about? Yeah, not my story, but my
You know?
imagination. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a creative process.
Right. How you
Well, I
do.
can't wait to see the next one. That sounds good
Yes.
too.
Yes.
I
The next
really
one
enjoyed this one.
Maybe I should do a little double book where they're both in one book so you can just read it, go on to the next one. But
In the back of the first one, you can update it and say
I
the
did,
second one.
I did think that would be a teaser.
Yeah,
That would
you
be
can put a chapter of the next book in the book. That's wonderful. And I
yes.
think the readers like that too. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
And I have really enjoyed it. This is a great book. I will put the link into the book in the description. The video will be on the Facebook group, it'll be on Instagram, Twitter, and it will also be on my YouTube channel. So
Perfect.
everybody can watch it and check out the book. I certainly hope you will.